Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story, and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telev.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Nasino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, fuel prices change due to global fluctuations. Voter education to be carried out in 3 phases. An alarm at increasing number of teenage pregnancies. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Good news for some vehicle owners and householders. Fuel prices change tomorrow. The latest quarterly review of fuel prices will see the cost of diesel, LPG auto gas and kerosene reduce from midnight tomorrow, while petrol and premix go up.
It's good news for those who use kerosene, diesel and LPG auto gas. Diesel, LPG auto gas and kerosene prices will fall effective from midnight tonight. The price of diesel will drop by 4 cents a litre from the current $2.39 to $2.35. A litre of LPG gas will fall from $2.36 to $2.29. A litre of kerosene will now cost $2.18, a 4 cents decrease from current $2.22. However, the price of cylinder gas remains the same. On the other hand, the price of a litre of petrol goes up by 4 cents from $2.59 to $2.63. Premix increases by 4 cents a litre from $2.51 to $2.55.
1/3 of the Fiji population uses kerosene, and this is very good to see.
The diesel price coming down, maybe the taxi fare gonna come down.
It's very expensive now because life too it's hard, so the cost of petrols, but that's not good. It should be going down.
Commerce Commission Chair Dr. Mahendra Reddy says this latest review of the fuel price is based on global fluctuations.
Market price has come down significantly. Freight rates have not changed, but we're affected by exchange rate. Now, with the exchange rate factor kicking in, we were able to, we were able to still offset it using the price reduction for, let's say, for diesel and kerosene, but we were not able to offset that for motor spirit and premix. So the primary factor is that over the last quarter, our exchange rates haven't been favorable to us. Our dollar has weakened.
The government is currently looking at different models to further reduce our vulnerability to price fluctuations. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The public will be bombarded with voter information over the next 150 days. The Elections Office has prepared an education exercise to familiarize every voter with what to expect come Election Day. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
There is little information available to the public on how they will vote come September 17th. The Elections Office will be sending out trained personnel to carry out a voter education drive.
The approach is to start from rural areas and converge into the urban centers. The voter information exercise will contain visuals, including mock exercises. It will happen in 3 phases, but it's not only going to be face-to-face. There is going to be other media used, and the media itself will play a very crucial role in voter education.
The trained officials will show the public the possible documents they will have inside the polling booth, including a sample of the ballot paper and a national candidates list, which will have the names and numbers of all the candidates. They will then be taught how to vote.
For the first-time voters, it is important because they need to know what are some of the things that will happen inside a polling station, and that's how the education program will be aligned to ensure that such information is conveyed to them.
Mohammed Sanim says they are working to ensure that all eligible voters do vote on the day.
In terms of the voters, our priority right now is to encourage more and more voters to register. We are also encouraging our voters to change or correct their addresses in our system that will allow them to be tagged to the nearest polling station. We also want voters to check polling stations and contact the Fijian Elections Office teams if they are listed in a polling station that is too far from their premises or where they reside or where they will be on 17th of September. We would like voters to also check if their names appear on the voter list.
Next month, voters will know where they will vote as the Elections Office will release the list of the proposed polling stations by the 30th of this month, along with the provisional allocation of voters to each polling station. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
The number of teenage pregnancies in Fiji is increasing. The latest statistics from the Social Welfare Ministry show about 40 teenage pregnancies in the first quarter of this year. Permanent Secretary Dr. Joko Roivoeta says this is an alarming figure. Shireen Lata reports.
The youngest girl in Fiji who became a mother this year was only 12 years old, while others were between the ages of 16 to 18.
One of the big issues now that we have is parents are not well equipped on what to parent their children on as far as reproductive health issues are concerned. What do the mothers tell the girl child? What do the fathers, tell their boys? It's a very taboo subject.
Dr. Joko Roivoeta says the figures are shocking and something needs to be done to curb them. Such cases occur in all parts of the country.
We have a very closed eyes on where the areas that are identified, but I think it's much more than that. It's not just a locality, but it's really deep within what is really bringing up the teenage pregnancy.
The Social Welfare Ministry is addressing the issue with a new reproductive health unit that has conducted more than 30 awareness programs for women and teenagers in rural areas.
Well, I think time has come now that to awaken, all the community-based institutions, especially the faith-based, because they have a special purpose in relaying or nurturing good families and nurturing couples before they enter a relationship.
The Social Welfare Ministry is now working closely with NGOs and others to address the issue of teenage pregnancy. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Coming up, Fiji Airways announces profit sharing with staff.
बात तो बा है बा में रेडियो Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो Fiji 2 रकी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो Fiji 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2, नसोरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
टावा में रेडियो Fiji 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं।
रेडियो Fiji 2 रॉक।
रेडियो Fiji 2 आई लव यू।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji 2।
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Following its major group profit of $14.5 million for the last 9 months of 2013, Fiji Airways will reward its staff and management over $1.25 million in profit sharing and bonuses. This will be their first profit-sharing payout since the plan was approved last year. A total of 810 non-management employees of Fiji Airways and Pacific Sun will each receive $1,400, amounting to just over $1 million. 67 management staff will receive $4,000 each for a total of $258,000. Non-management staff of both airlines already stand to earn quarterly KPI-related bonuses of up to $1,200 on achievement of key business objectives. And Jamie joins us now with the latest in sports.
Good evening. In sports tonight, Flying Fijians coaching job down to 3 applicants and Nandi fails to record a win at the OFC. These stories and more after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची FM लंबा साथी।
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल खाए में हाय हाय Tangi tahu apa Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबा समय रहता है तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. 3 applicants have been shortlisted for the Flying Fijians coaching job, one of them being FRU's High Performance Unit General Manager John McKee. In an exclusive interview with Elena McDonald, McKee said he's already begun talks with Flying Fijians and their coaches.
Rugby House has been quiet since their last announcement that 20 applications had been received for the Flying Fijians hot seat. Their choice is expected to be announced next week. However, McKee seems to have already done some groundwork.
It's taken a little while for the board to work through the applications. I assume they get some very high-level applications. I've applied for the position myself and have just been informed this week that I'm on a short list. I don't know who the other people are on the shortlist, but interviews will be conducted this week. And
meanwhile, McKee's recently returned from a trip to France to liaise with overseas-based Flying Fijians and their club coaches.
To communicate directly with a lot of our senior players and Flying Fijian players and potential players over there, but also to talk to their clubs and really make a good judgment on their form and their fitness and that type of thing leading into the selections for June, but also looking beyond to November.
June is a busy month for the Flying Fijians, with test matches against Italy, followed by the Pacific Nations Cup and Rugby World Cup qualifier against the Cook Islands lined up. McKee was also able to establish which French-based players will be available for these games, and the FRU is working hard on putting the best possible team together. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Bitter Nawaka Sevens tournament over the weekend was a good chance for national coach Ben Ryan to familiarise himself with the pool of local players. Though he made very few changes to his squad preparing for Scotland, he is strategically testing the strengths of his core reps. Elaine McDonald reports those returning from injury will be tested the most.
Acquiring enough game time is beneficial for players as well as for coaches. Participating in the Fiji Bitter Nawaka Sevens has done just that for Fiji's preparations.
I think nobody else in the world probably will have a tournament in between because it's such a short turnaround. So they'll be fit going into Glasgow and London, and then 1 or 2 boys coming back from injuries or staking a claim to try to get back in the squad have done well this weekend. So and Semi Kunatani is a good example, really, someone that's played very well this weekend and deserves his 18. Now is going to push very hard to get in that 12.
Injuries sustained during the last IRB World Series leg took its toll on certain players. While Osea Kolinisau, Benito Masilevu and Donacio Ratumbuli opted to rest, tall timber Pio Tuwai risked playing for his club over the weekend.
You can see that he's not quite at his sharpest because he's carrying an injury, and the Westfield have decided to play him. It's up to them. If he's cleared fit, he's a bit rusty, probably could have had the weekend off, but looks like hopefully he's come through okay, so they got away with that one.
He may have made the squad again, but the next 4 days will test him and others in camp. Fitness is the key this week and the determining factor as to who makes the final 12 to Glasgow and London and who doesn't. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Shop and Save Nandi football side failed to bring smiles to the faces of their die-hard fans after going down to AS Dragon this afternoon. In their last match of the OFC, the Green Machine conceded 5 goals, leaving them winless in the competition. Coach Kamal Swami says the team's downfall was inexperience.
Need some more players in positions like we lacked experience, and then most of the teams are bringing overseas players, the experienced players. So if association wants to compete in our league, they need players, and then these players will also get the experience of what has happened this year.
The OFC Champions League ends tomorrow with QFC taking on Solomon Warriors, while AS Pire takes on Waitakere United. In the Group B decider, defending champions Auckland City tasted their first defeat at the hands of Amical FC 1-0.
Hasilic has picked it up. Oh, good ball in. Oh, it's in! Amazing stuff!
For the first time, Cricket Fiji held Easter Championship matches at the new Buckus Park Cricket Ground in Laucala Bay today. High Performance Unit Manager Joe Rika believes that now with the new grounds, the time is right for teams to adapt to 50 overs cricket.
About exposure for us. It's about getting these players playing a lot of 50 over cricket, understanding how to play 50 over cricket, and learning from it. We've got the best players in Fiji right now playing in this comp, which is good for Fiji as well. So the standards in all matches will be high, and that's the only way our players can develop.
The championship continues this week with the final to be broadcasted live on FBC TV on Easter Monday. That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
The Reserve Bank of Fiji is working on a disclosure form for all banks. The Complaints Management Forum under the RBF has held its first meeting for 2014 and was given a presentation on the proposed credit product pre-contractual disclosure form. The form is to be implemented from July 1st and links to the Reserve Bank's disclosure and accountability policy on interest rates, fees and charges. The RBF says the purpose of the new form is to help Fijians better understand their responsibilities when taking loans or borrowing from banks and credit institutions. Consumers can obtain these forms from any bank or financial institution and use them to compare product features, interest rates and fees and charges. All licensed financial institutions must provide the same information concerning their own products and services to consumers. Fiji's Liku Liku Lagoon Resort in the Mamanuca Group has been inducted into the Australian Luxury Travel Magazine Gold List Hall of Fame after winning the magazine's Best Overseas Resort Award for the 5th straight year. Since opening in 2007, the family-owned resort has been recognized for its luxury island beach accommodations, leading-edge cuisine and unparalleled service. Fijian owner and managing director Tony Whitten says the resort fills a previously vacant niche in Fiji, from traditional Fijian architecture to service delivery, as well as Fiji's first and only overwater mbures. Earlier this year, Liku Liku was also recognized by USA's Islands magazine as the third most romantic island getaway in the world. And now for the 5th year running, Luxury Magazine's Best Overseas Resort. Weather time now in Jen. What's stellar weather today?
Yes, Jackie, perfect word to describe conditions for most centres today. We had fine weather here in the capital as well as Nadi and Lombasa throughout the day. Lautoka, Ba and Savusavu had sunny weather in the morning but experienced brief showers in the afternoon. Looking at today's temperatures, Lautoka and Savusavu were both at 30 degrees Celsius. Suva and the Jet Set town were at 31, Ba at 32, and then we had Lombasa topping the chart at 33. Moving on, a bit of good news for tomorrow. Fantastic morning weather is expected for all major centres. Even better news for Lombasa, you'll enjoy fabulous weather all throughout. For our mariners, expect moderate seas with southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. And finally, cast your eyes on this spectacular sunrise at the Namboro Corrections Facility. That's it from me this evening. And remember, if all else fails, just look outside your window.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Recapping the headlines. Fuel prices change due to global fluctuations. Voter education to be carried out in 3 phases, and alarm at increasing number of teenage pregnancies. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, should there be price control on the rental of residential properties? 75% of respondents answered yes. This week we're asking, should the old Rewa Bridge be demolished? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, good evening.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Waltoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Batu Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.